Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Don from Driving Everest here, and today we're going to be talking about this, the Quadratec Aluminum Roof Rack. This is one of the newer items to hit the Quadratec catalog and is part of their aluminum series, bringing strength at a super light weight. This entire roof rack weighs less than 40 pounds, barely going to be noticeable that it's up there, and it's going to significantly expand the carrying capacity on top of the Gladiator. Let's get started with the install. All right, so your Quadratec aluminum roof rack is going to come in two different packages. The smaller package, those are actually going to be the mounting brackets that attach the roof rack to the top of your Gladiator or four-door. And the big box is going to be the roof rack itself. Now, the thing that impresses me the most about first opening this is just the packaging. So there's foam, as always, Quadratec's full color instructions. We'll get to those in a second. Box of hardware, and then every single piece inside here is bubble wrapped, it's taped. You're not going to get any busted up packages unless your delivery person is really trying. So we'll go ahead, we'll get everything out, we'll clear the table off, and we'll get to work putting it together. So, yep, one more small bag. So some additional hardware. It's actually got an Allen key in there. All right, so everything is unwrapped. It's laid out. You've got two of the side panels. You've got two end panels, one up there, one here. You've got three of the crossbars that I've just set there. And then you've also got this front panel, which comes up here, can act as a wind deflector. You can leave it out, you can put it on the outside, or you can put it on the inside for a different look. We're gonna set this aside. That's gonna go on towards the very end, and we'll decide what kind of look we're going for. So when it comes down to it, the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna build a frame for this. So that means we're gonna be able to set all of these cross members off the table over here in the grass for now. And we're going to work on assembling the two side panels and the two end panels. Now the side panels are easy to identify. They've got the Quadratec logo right there on them. And then we'll come around and we'll fit them in. So bringing you in close, each one of these is going to get a bolt with a washer. It's going to drop through. It's going to get another washer, and it's going to get a nut. And we'll just get those finger tight on there for now. And we'll work our way around. All right, it's together. All the corners are on. It's just hand tight right now. Now that we have it, we're going to go back around and we're going to tighten all of these up. We're going to use the 13mm. as well as the included Allen. We'll just go around and get all of these ready to go. And then we'll move on and put the crossbars in. All right, so I've got the rack upside down. It was a lot easier to tighten the remaining four that were on the bottom this way. And you actually want to leave it this way because the next step involves putting the cross members on, and they actually bolt in through the bottom. So we'll end up going around. You're going to use the same bag of hardware that you had before, and each one of these is going to get a lock nut, a washer, and a bolt. And it'll come right up here. There are already cutouts to show you where this hardware is going to go. I'll do the same thing as before. I'll go around, I'll get everything finger tight, and then we'll come back and we'll tighten it down. All right, so the crossbars are tightened down. Let's flip the rack over. Still really easy to manage because of that light weight. And now, before we actually move on to putting it up top, we've got the wind deflector. So this is the front of the rack here. The wind deflector has two positionings. One, it goes right here as a solid piece, or two, it can actually come inside and kind of give you a bit more of a silhouette look. And you know, even though that this will probably be a little bit harder to clean, I kind of like the look a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and install this using one of the remaining bags of hardware. All right, so that was the last step for that. That means these instructions for the roof rack are finished. Pretty straightforward, used up all the included hardware. Now, one thing I will tell you, that having put together a lot of things, I usually like to find that the manufacturer has included at least one or two extra pieces of hardware in there. If you lose something, if something doesn't fit right, whatever the case may be, then you're kind of out of luck and you find yourself running to the hardware store. So it says to switch over and come to the brackets. Now this is going to be heavy duty. These don't feel like aluminum, these feel like steel brackets. So nice heavy steel brackets. There's going to be 4 of them, one for each corner. And then we've got some additional mounting plates in here and more detailed instructions. All right, so we're over here at Everest. We've got all the parts. We've got a bunch of padding because all of these brackets are going to end up clamping over here on the rain gutters. And we don't want that steel directly on there. So we're going to take these different pieces of rubber and foam that are protective and put them on our brackets before we go any farther. So it's not one size fits all. There's some different pieces in here. There's going to be 4 of these that are basically like a C, and they're going to go around the edge of the larger brackets here. You just got to pull them apart, slide them on. All right, so we've got all the foam on. We've got the big piece right here on the larger bracket. We've got it up there protecting there, and then on the smaller ones, it's actually right here. Now, I will say these are not perfect. They are not precision cut to size. You can see there's some overlap, and they are flush right there. So, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather have a little excess than a little too short, especially if it's going to be coming in contact with a hardtop. So ultimately, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start loosely fitting these around the top and getting them in position. Go ahead and move the camera angle and try to get some good shots. All right, so we're going to take our large bracket with our padding here. It's going to sit inside of the rain channel. The padding is on there because, as I mentioned earlier, it comes in contact with the hardtop. We're going to grab the other piece. The padding here is because it's going to grab the underside of this. And as that comes up, it'll come through the top. We'll grab an M8 washer and a lock nut and put that on there. Now, it does have to align with these holes here in the side for the next step, so it doesn't right now. I'm just going to go ahead and tighten it a little bit, try to bring those holes closer into alignment. You can see it's lifting it up a little bit off the truck. I think that's going to be fine for now. I'll adjust that in a moment. But I found that this helps hold it in place to get these in. And then if we need to, we can loosen it just a hair. There we go. Notice these aren't super tight yet. It can still slide. We're going to go around the truck. We're going to do all the sides, and then we'll get ready to put the rack on. All right, so the instructions, this is where they call for you to get a helper to go ahead and lift it into place. Well, if you don't have a helper and you're doing this solo, I've got a theory that with a Gladiator, you can actually do it from the back. So we're gonna test that theory right now. Now, if this was a steel roof rack, that would be impossible, but this thing's super lightweight, as you can see. Now, the tricky part here is the fact that I have a spare tire in here, but it is totally doable with one person in a Gladiator. So now that we've got that in place, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the remaining hardware, we're going to secure it in, we're going to make sure that the channels are in the right spot, and we're just about done. And there we have it, guys. The roof rack is on, and I mean, I'm shaking the whole Jeep here, so this thing is solid. Now, the side steps, they help me get right here. I'm gonna need some of the hinge steps here to help me get all the way up. But this is fantastic, it's solid. Be able to store some extra gear up there for a lot of our cross-country trips. This is nice, guys. This is really high quality, super lightweight, and it looks awesome. I think I'm gonna want a bed rack now. We're done.